I heard this question the other day, and it really caused me to think and reflect. Imagine that you're the main character in a movie right now, and the audience is watching this movie, and they're screaming at the screen and say, no, do this, do this. What is the audience screaming at you to do? What do they want you to do? Welcome to King Moves. In chess, the king moves one step at a time, but that single move can change everything. Each week, we explore mindset shifts and simple actions that could lead to the next breakthrough in your business and life. I'm your co-host, Ethan King, from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and best-selling author of Wealth Beyond Money.
And I'm your co-host, Justin King, no relation to Ethan, from Cape Town, South Africa. Entrepreneur, speaker, and business growth strategist. Our journey crosses continents and cultures as we think out loud, challenge assumptions, and uncover the small moves that create big momentum. Welcome to King Moves. Let's start the conversation.
That's a great question. What would the audience be screaming at me? I don't want to overthink it. The first thing that comes to mind is 3 words: go all in. And we've spoken about it a few times. It's really niching down and narrowing down where I want to position myself as a coach, where I want to position myself as a speaker. In my personal life, in my relationship, we're making some big decisions as well. So that's a big 3 words: go all in all of those things. And it's because there will always be that little imposter syndrome. Is it the right time? Are you ready? Are people going to laugh at you? Can you back it up? All these things. I've got the evidence. We've spoken about that as well. I believe I've got my stack of evidence to say, yes, I can do all of these things. So I think they would be screaming to go all in. What I'm picturing is, I don't know if, as a kid, if you ever used to watch a play at school, and if it was adults often acting for young children, they would act silly in front of the audience and say, where's the person I'm looking for? And all the kids would shout, they're over there. Or they went that side of the stage and they're hiding over there. That's what I'm picturing now, what the audience would be pointing. Do that. Go there. Go all in there. Yes, you've got it. That's where they are there. I've seen it. That's what the evidence is pointing. It's head in that direction. So yeah. I can't be too much more specific than that. It would be go all in. That's what I would hear.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for answering that. I mean, it's a deeply personal and reflective question. So I'm really posing it to our listeners. Think about it for yourself. For me, it would be build your own stages, know your worth. And the reason I think the audience would be screaming that to me is because I'm often promoting other people and other organizations. And I think I'm really good at it. And I'm more comfortable doing that than I am putting myself out there, which is, as you know, something I've stepped into very recently in the past few years, is making myself the product, Ethan King, versus it's easier for me to hide behind another product or another brand and to promote that. But when it's me, then it's a whole different ball of wax. I mean, it is just, there are a lot of insecurities that pop up and things like that. But that's why I think that the audience would be screaming, do it. Know your worth, build your stages, promote yourself, your name, and don't hide behind others. So that is what I'm working on now after this question has been posed to me. It's really, well, I guess you, going all in on that. If you're listening to this, take a moment, think about it for yourself as well. What would the audience be screaming, and take action on that? That would be the king move I'd like to leave everyone with.
I'm going to jump in before we wrap it up completely, because I think there's a second question that we could ask ourselves and the audience could ask themselves as well. Because you and I both answered that in a way where the audience would be screaming something that we would like to hear. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But if the audience, and I don't have an answer to this right now, but if the audience was screaming an uncomfortable truth, what would that be?
So kind of a negative, a positive answer and a negative answer, I guess. They're both uncomfortable. Let me see. What would the audience be screaming?
I don't want to use the word negative, but yes. I mean, to simplify, it would be a good and a bad, a positive and a negative. Back yourself is yours. Go all in is mine. That's great. And it's cool to say, and I feel great saying it. But what would that uncomfortable truth be that would be coming my way? It's a difficult one. You got to sit with it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. For me, it would probably be something more nuanced, stop spending time on bullshit. And focus. Well, it's still, for me, it would still kind of lead back to the other one. I guess maybe another way to put that is if you have an audience, a crowd of people, not everyone's going to be on the same page. So what is that critic in the audience saying who really wants things to go in a different direction? What would someone else maybe say that is not kind of what you're already thinking in your subconscious? And it's hard for me to imagine that. It makes me think of, what was that movie? It was a really very popular movie. I think it was The Matrix. And I was telling one of my friends about it. I was like, oh man, you got to see this movie. It's so good. It's so good. And they're like, everybody loved the movie, right? I took him to go see it, and he was like, man, this is the worst movie ever. This movie sucks. And like, he's the only person in the world I've ever met who said that movie absolutely, he hated it. He like walked out halfway through. He thought it was the stupidest movie in the world. So what is that person thinking about the movie of your life?
I agree. The difficult thing is there would always be somebody in the audience who wants to say something that we could kind of laugh off, water off the duck's back. But at the same time, what is the front row of 5-year-olds that have only got a filter of truth? What are they going to say? And it might be, Justin, those are the worst shoes. You've got no dress sense whatsoever. Like, what? And I need to sit with that kind of question. And I think for me, it would go somewhere to personal relationships. It would be something to do with personal relationships and taking better care. Take better care of personal relationships. Something along those lines.
And I like where you're going with that, because maybe we can go a layer deeper with the question and say, what would an audience of children say if they're watching your movie? Why is he doing this instead of doing that? Because children, when you approach things with a childlike mindset, what do they call it? Shoshin. When you approach things with a child's point of view, like that newness, where it's not filtered and contaminated by all of these limiting beliefs and adult boundaries. What would a child say? Why is he doing that when he should be doing this? That's something to think about.
I will never forget. And I was a kid at this stage, but my folks had a dinner party. They had a whole lot of friends coming over. I can't remember how. I must have been an early teen, but there was one of the families that were there had a young daughter, and she must have been 5 or something. And she was looking up at one of my dad's friends, and she just said to him, "Why do you have cobwebs in your nose?" Like, it's just raw, unfiltered truth, and not meaning anything nasty by it. So it would be that. It would be them looking at you saying, "Why have you got cobwebs in your nose?" What would that question be?
Yeah. Well, hey, we've left everyone with 2 deep questions to really self-reflect on and unpack some of those personal things that you're struggling with. Maybe looking at it through the lens of an audience in particular, and then also an audience of children. What would they say about the movie of your life, and how can you adjust?
Enjoyed that. Thanks, Ethan.
That's a wrap for today's episode of King Moves. Remember, in chess, like in business,
one right move can change everything.
Take today's action step, make your move, and build momentum.
If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who's ready for their next breakthrough, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our weekly conversations. Until next time.